Hello, this is ELB, and let's get back to work. So last time we got a basic sword working. It's not super complicated at the moment. So instead of the right trigger shooting an arrow, it now swings a sword. And it's a little bit funky. I don't know, like, you can probably see it, but it's starting off, the sword is starting off right about here. And then the very next frame, it looks like it's all the way over here. So I'm going to try to smooth that out and make it just feel better. But in order to do that, we're going to have to do some testing and see what exactly is going on here. So first off, oh, get down from there. Let us get some help on this. So we're going to show this, the movement and aiming arrows. And this way we can see exactly where we're aiming when we swing our sword. So we already know that we're aiming towards 0, which is to the right. Remember, 90 is up, 180 is left, 270 is down. See, it seems like we're starting off way closer to where we're aiming than we should be. Well, so in order to fix this, here, let me delete this real quick. That was something I was testing elsewhere. Or for something else. Let us have this thing. Well, let's have it draw itself, for one, because we're going to have it draw something else as well. Draw self. Done. And then, actually, let's draw it under the draw self. We're going to be drawing a line, or something kind of like a line. You know what? Here. Draw sprite ext. Sprite, or it's going to be SPR melee sword, so its own sprite. It's only going to be on subimage 0. X, Y, X scale 1, Y scale 1. Rotation, though, is going to be something else. It's going to be our good friend sword angle here. Okay. Color. Let's make it black so that it just looks like it's, well, no, here. Let's do that. Alpha 0. No, 1. That. Okay. So, it will appear under the sword that we actually want to be looking at, and it'll rotate to follow it. Let's give this a go. Now that already looks really messed up. For one, it looks like the angle that we actually want is kind of behind a bit. So let's see if we can't fix that. Come on, everything's starting up there. So let's try going to -45 real quick. It should be moving only 90 degrees. Thinking about how exactly I want to deal with this. Here, as a final test thing, let's have it just tell us what the angle is. Let's have it be 0 for the x, y minus 50. String is going to be string sword angle. Okay. Oh, I'm dumb. Hold on. There we go. Took a sip of my drink. Okay. Well, that's a bit difficult to read, ain't it? Let's slow things down. We can change the speed of any room just by going to the room and setting it to whatever we want, so now only 5 steps will happen per second. So the game will run at 5 frames per second. It starts off at minus 45, immediately fixes itself the next frame. Do we want it at that, though? Because ideally, we want it to go from, well, negative 45 all the way to positive 45. So oh, where'd you go? There you are. I'm curious though, how much is negative 45? So it'd be 360 minus 45. That's 315. So yeah, 325 should be the one that it is, and it looks like that is correct. So although it's being drawn kind of funky, I think what we're looking at is still, in fact, correct. But we can do this even better if we'd like. Instead of doing this, we can do draw line color. X will be X, Y will be Y. X2, well, we're going to need some variables for that. That's what we'll use. And this will be equal to length dir x. The length will be, I don't know, 20, 25, doesn't really matter. The direction will be, can't forget that, will be sword angle, of course. So let's do this again. Equals y plus length dir y, 25, sword angle. Var line x, var line y, and then see red for both, because why not? Doesn't really matter. Alright, let's take a look at this. This should be easier to read than that red sword. Oh, well, we got that problem for starters. No, OBJ test figure. X plus 8, I guess. Y plus 8. X plus 8. Y plus 8. Okay. There we go. Aside from not going quite far enough, that looks pretty good. I think all we'd have to do to fix that is bring that to 10. Let's give this another go. And take a look at that line. Yeah, that looks roughly correct. For the red line, I mean. The sword, well, the sword doesn't look correct at all. Although I am wondering why it is starting down there and then just moving up. Okay. So, let's see here. So it follows the player. But what's going wrong? What if we didn't do this? What if we just had sword angle how it's intended to be? But then a negative divided by 20... no, that'll still be a negative, so that should be fine. Let's take a look at this. Oh, already we're getting better results. And then slightly worse results. What about if we look all the way over here? Yeah, it's way ahead of the line. That shouldn't be how it is. And then... okay. So why is this? Let's take a look at that sword real quick. Oh, hello. Okay. Okay, so we have 16 images, right? If it were 32, then that's what we'd need, right? Actually... okay, sorry, I'm like sort of babbling. So we have 16 images, right? 0 to 15. They correspond to 320 degrees of movement. Or is it? No, it's 360. I'm sorry. Why was I thinking of 320 then? Yeah, it's 360-degree motion. I am... Okay, hold on. Let's get out a calculator. I might have done this completely wrong the other day without thinking about it. So... 22.5. So that is our problem. We're dividing by 20 rather than 22.5. So, what would be better? 18 degrees of movement. What would that even look like? Let's delete all these real quick. Let's have, where are you, rotation, counterclockwise. Of course we want 360 degrees of movement. And how many was it, 18? The only problem with this is that then we don't get that proper one at the top. So if we could find something that's cleanly divisible and has, you know, the 4 cardinal directions, or even you could say the 8 cardinal directions, I think I'd be happy. So it needs to be a multiple of 8 and cleanly divisible by 360. Okay, well that's obviously not going to be it. Oh. 24 then. Let's try that. Okay. So 24 images. So once again, 15 times 24 is going to equal 360. So that means we need to divide this by 15. Okay. I'm not totally sure rounding will be what we want, but let's try that for now. Okay, let's take a look at this. It looks roughly right. Let's try looking in the other direction and see how it fares. Still looking roughly correct. Now let's try that dastardly close to 360. Oh. Now why is that happening? One frame is incorrect. Very incorrect. But why is that? Might be because of the creation event, honestly. Yep, it's because of the creation event. Okay. Fixed you. If I'm looking down slightly. That's exactly what we want. Alright, cool. Let's bring this back up to 30. And give this a test whirl. I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. Okay. Alright. Cool. Seems like it's all roughly correct. Let's get rid of this real quick. Just have draw self for now, which we might remove in the future. Also, I think I'm gonna sneeze in a moment. Alright, so everything seems to be working, but now we have that problem from either the last video or a couple times ago where we want to hit the enemy, but we don't want to hit it every single frame. So only one frame of hitting the enemy. So let's do that. Okay. Sorry for the silence, just reading over the code that I have commented out here. So let's go through what I'd done before step by step. So first I did the collision detection, which was a collision line. Using that, I determined whether or not the enemy was hit. So if enemy hit does not equal no one, aka an enemy was hit, then it was added to the array. Well, first we detected if the array was even there. We determined if it was a new enemy or not. If it was, then the enemy would get hurt, otherwise we'd just break this off. So because of this, only one enemy could be detected to be hit at a time, because of the way collision line works. When it collides with when it collides with more than one of the object that it's trying to detect, it'll only return one ID, which is a problem. So, because that's a problem, something we need to do better this next time. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for reference, and we're going to try to recreate this magic a little bit. So the way this code works is we're looking through all the enemies and determining which ones are which enemies are actually being collided with by the sword. So to do that, it's collision rectangle, we're using the bounding boxes of the enemies, and then we're using this ID right here. That is for the object that we're looking for to detect, to collide with this rectangle, which we're just choosing ourselves, or we're having the sword choose itself. It's true on the precision because the sword needs to be precise with every single swing, or with every single frame of the swing. And of course it's not going to try to Wait, so because it needs to detect itself, the not me needs to be false. If we were not, if the sword were not trying to detect itself, it would be true. Okay. I'm gonna take a look at the create event real quick. Enemy hit array, so is 0 there, so it is not an array at the moment. Okay. Okay. So sorry for the silence once again. Okay, so first off, once the enemy is hit, we are going to check if it is within the array. But we also need to check if the array is even array first. Okay, so, oh, there we go. So basically, if this is the first time an enemy is even being hit, then this happens. Enemy hit array 0 equals var enemy, oh come on, enemy ID, because that is the one that was found and that's the one that was collided with. Okay, so I'm partially just going off of what I've already written before. New enemy equals true, and thus the var enemy hit array length equals 0, so that we just know what the length of the array is. Okay. Else, aka if it is not a new array, then we need to check across the array and determine whether or not this enemy has been hit yet. Okay, so for n equals 0, while n is less than var enemy hit array length, oh, n plus plus. Okay. Then when that happens, we check it against the array. So if enemy hit array n is equal to, oh, come on, n is equal to enemy, or var enemy ID then new enemy equals false, and we break out of the for loop. Else, hold on, new enemy equals true. So the reason we're doing new enemy equals true simply means that we're checking it against every ID in the array, and to start we're assuming that new enemy is true until proven otherwise. Okay? So, what am I doing? Sorry. Now, after that, if, oh, so if new enemy equals true, then what we do is enemy hit array var enemy hit array length equals enemy hit ID. Nope, that's not right. It was var enemy ID. Okay, then we do var enemy hit array length plus plus. So we're going to add one onto it, and then finally var enemy ID dot HP minus equals 20. Okay, that should work. So let's give this a test run. Okay. Really doesn't move very fast. I may speed that up later. Anyhow. Oh! We got an error. So I'm going to copy this, abort, bring up Notepad, paste it in. Okay. So it was line 52. And var enemy hit array length not set before reading it. What? So if it's not an array, enemy hit array, which it should not be, why is that not working? Oh, I'm dumb. Okay. We'll just do that. Enemy hit array length. Enemy hit array length. And then let's put that in the creation code. Enemy hit array length equals 0. Okay. Let's try this now. See how it works. Okay. Swinging works. Oh. Still have enemy hit array length in there at line 52. Okay. Let's test now. There we go. Well, something happened. It appears I got into an infinite loop somehow. That is not at all what we want. I'm gonna do this one more time just to make sure that wasn't some crazy fiasco bug. Nope. Okay. So something's going on here. But what is going on here? We have 2 for loops. I'm assuming it's happening in this one. So let's make this fun. Okay. So you might be wondering why I'm not using the debugger. Game Maker Studio's debugger is a pain in the ass to say the least. Sometimes I write to the compile thing. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. But I also oftentimes just use messages because it, pauses everything and gives me a moment to reflect. Okay. We got that hello. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. This should not be going on into eternity. But it appears it is. Okay, that's a problem. Here. Let's see if it's some sort of bug having to do with the number of enemies in the room. We'll do that. Deleted them all. Hello. Oh. So why was that taking so long last time? Let's get rid of our hello. Seems like it's working fine now. Real quick, let's get that in there. And then I'm gonna put 3 more enemies. Or just 2. Okay. Seems like it's working fine. So why was I getting that freeze earlier? That's odd. How many did I have? Something like this. Game should be able to handle that many enemies. Let's see what happens. Okay. Is it really based on how many enemies there are that it's freezing up? I do have a suspicion. So, no, not in draw. So instead of that, we're gonna do enemy hit array length. Because it shouldn't be going up there, but for some reason, well, we'll see if that's actually what's causing it for one. Although I don't know. We'll figure this out. 2. Okay. 2. Still just 2. Why are you looping? So that's not it. Also, it shouldn't be 2. It should just be 1. So what is it? I apologize for my relative silence here. Figuring out bugs is always a chore. Okay, right. But why are you freezing up? What are you having so much trouble with? We're going through every enemy. But why would you freeze up? While n is less than the amount of obj parent enemy, and then plus plus after going through all that. Checks whether or not it's within the array. What the fuck? It shouldn't be necessary, I think. Okay. I still want to know what the heck heck is looping here? Okay, I'm gonna do that. It should only appear once. Or more like it should appear once every step. Okay. Wait, what? Did it appear twice? Okay, one. Okay, it had that collision. And then we stop. Okay. Let's move you in. So I'm pretty sure it's this other for loop that's just continuing forever for some reason. One. Yeah, it's continuing forever for some reason. Which it should not be. Oh, that was, hello. What the heck are you doing? Wow, this is impressive. Stop, get out of here. Okay, I do not know what that was. Anyhow. So it's just never escaping that for loop? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just never escaping that for loop. Okay, oh, you know what it is? It might just be that. I wasn't thinking there. Let's do this. Watch this fix everything. There we go. Okay, that'll teach me to use the same variable in my freaking for loops. I'm surprised I've never run into that before. I almost always use n. Alright. Swords are looking okay. On that note, I'm gonna call this good in just a moment. First, I'm gonna delete all these real quick. Pull ourselves up. Then surround us with enemies. Ho ho. How can we possibly escape? You must be asking. Well, oh boy. We don't want that. Hold on. There we go. Comment that out. Let's give this another whirl. Okay. Cool. Alright. So, yep. I'm calling it good here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.